moving on to our next story that I'm like a little happy, excited, weirded. I don't know how I feel about it. But basically, I saw this news report that, let's see, okay, Harry Lawtey, who was in HBO Max's show Industry, which I love. He has been cast in this Cold War thriller called Billion Dollar Spy opposite of Russell Crowe. Now, Russell Crowe, not my favorite actor. Not a great guy, but like, oh, okay, that's fine. You know what? Big name actor, you know, when you're a fairly new actor in like a big show, you get cast opposite a really big name actor. It's like, you know what? I'm happy for you. I'm glad. I'm happy. So I'm reading the article, and then I see who the director is attached to the movie. And I see that it is the one and only BAFTA award-winning Amma Asante. And that is when I had to withdraw my excitement from the production, from the film. Because Amma Asante, although like I support Black women, I love Black women, Amma Asante is not my favorite director, I have to say. I don't know if you know Amma Asante. Maybe you're familiar with her work.
I don't. I think that was not the thing that I was expecting you to pull up about this movie. Who is Amma Asante? I'm very curious now.
Okay, so Amma Asante, she is a Black female director, and like me, I love Black female directors. You know, I spend a lot of my time watching their films and like learning who they are, because you know when people list their favorite directors, they always throw Spike Lee in there just as like a little caveat, just to let you know. I don't only watch white directors, but it's like, okay, how many Spike Lee films have you seen? Do the Right Thing? Okay, sure, right, of course. But I, you know, started watching Amma Asante's films when I was just getting into movies, and she is well known for making movies with interracial love stories. And you know what? That's fine if that's what you want to do. You know, kudos to you. She is also in an interracial relationship, I believe. Her most well-known film is Belle, and Gugu Mbatha, I believe that's how you say her name. She starred in that movie. It's one of her most notable early roles. So that's really how I got into Gugu, and that's how I got into Amma Asante. And a lot of her movies, like I said, follow interracial love stories. She directed a film in 2016 called Where Hands Touch, and it starred Amandla Stenberg and George McKay, I think that's his name. Oh yeah, yeah. For those who don't know,
this movie. I know what you're talking about now.
For those who don't know, Where Hands Touch is a movie where Amandla Stenberg plays a biracial German girl. Her mom is white, her brother is white, her dad is Black, her dad is on the picture. This movie takes place 1941 in Poland. I'm pretty sure it's in Poland. And George McKay, the character he plays, he is the son of a Nazi general, which means he is a Nazi. Not as in figuratively, not like Nick Fuentes. No, he's a Nazi. And she falls in love with said Nazi. And the thing about Amandla Stenberg's character is that she's such a nationalist that like she's more of a nationalist than George McKay's character. And when the movie came out, I remember they did an interview with Variety, and Amandla Stenberg said in the interview, I feel like now is the perfect time for this movie to come out. Mind you, this movie came out a month after the 2016 election. Yeah, I remember what you said, Amandla. And let me tell you something, I've been looking at her side eyes since that interview. I've been siding you, girl. So when I saw her attached to this movie, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh man, that was not the movie I was expecting you to name at all. That was a movie I've literally not thought about since it released. Oh.
I know. But the thing is, every time I see Amandla Stenberg in anything, I remember that movie. And I know, like, you shouldn't judge people based off, like, they've done in the past. She's moved on. She's done The Acolyte. She's done Bottoms. But let me tell you something. Like, I never want to be, like, that one fan or that one person on the internet who, like, wants to bring up people's past transgressions. But, like, a Nazi love story is not something that can be easily overlooked. I'm sorry, girl. I mean, she's not the only Black actress to have done one, but it was 2016. We all knew better, you know?
No.
I'm not calling out
Uh,
nobody else because anybody else who has been in a movie like that, they've already paid for their transgressions, you know. But Amandla, girl, you know you want the nice.
I feel like not every actor, this doesn't happen to every actor, but I feel like once a year, there's always one movie that I look at that like nobody, no producer, no writer, no actor question, like, should we make this movie? And everyone's just like, yes, this is a fantastic idea. This was definitely like the movie of that year. Like I remember like all the discourse around this movie. I never saw it. I don't know anybody. You might be the first person I've ever talked to who's. Wait, have you seen the movie or just okay? I wasn't sure if you're just familiar with the movie or you've seen it, but you might be the first person that I've talked to since that movie came out in almost a decade, who has seen it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
The thing is that like I want to support Black female directors and like Black creatives, especially Black female creatives. And you know, Amma Asante, I'm not gonna say she's a bad director because she's not. She's made good films before. You know, Belle, United Kingdom, those are good films. However, when you are a director and your niche is like interracial love stories, there is a line that you do not cross. Because a lot of people who are into the interracial love stories, they have the thought in the back of their head, love conquers all. Guess what? Love does not conquer genocide. Xenophobia. Okay? That's not something that love conquers. I'm so sorry. That's why they had the Nuremberg trials, okay? So, like, with Amma Asante, ever since Where Hands Touch, I don't know if she's been making movies. Because I feel like when you're a Black director and you mess up, people kind of like, not toss you to the side, but like, you're not as recognized as before. You know, like, I hate to use this example, but like Ava DuVernay, when Wrinkle of Time came out, it didn't really do well in theaters. And now with like a lot of her other films that have come out, like Origin, it wasn't really recognized at the Academy Awards or in any awards show really. And then it didn't do well in the box office because the release date was in December, but then it was like a limited release. And like, I don't even know if you can watch it on streaming. So this happens.
I think it's on Hulu. I think it was at least.
Okay. I may have seen it on Hulu, but I have to check again. But I feel like that's a trend I see with Black directors. Like, even with Dee Reese, she released a film that was an adaptation of a Joan Didion novel, which in of itself is very ambitious, I have to say, because Joan Didion's writing is very complex. And last I heard, she was supposed to do a movie with Victoria Peretti? I don't know how to say her last name, but it's the girl from The Haunting of Bly Manor, and also You. I haven't heard anything about that movie, so it may be shelved. And that's a trend I keep seeing with these directors, especially Black female directors. Like, if you do not bring out hit after hit after hit, they toss you aside. This happened with Nia DaCosta with the Marvels. Like, Marvel did not invite her to her own premiere. And then the Hollywood Reporter started dogging her because the movie didn't do well in the box office. And now you have Amma Asante working again after she's done a Nazi love story. And I don't want to say she shouldn't have work, but I am saying when you look at her peers and you look at the work, she does not compare. Like, I'm sorry. Miss Alma, don't come after me. I know you like to, send notices to people. You were sending all the DMCA notices to people when everyone was roasting your movie on Twitter and posting them clips. I don't want any smoke. I don't. But, like, I'm sorry.
I mean, this is also me not saying anything bad about this director, but I think when you make a film like this, you're in a very different caliber of directors than some other people. This is like different than making just a bad movie. I don't know if you feel about this, not to like get off the tracks, but I think there's a difference between making a bad movie and a movie that people are like, wow, this offended me as a person. Like, this is, I can get over somebody making a bad movie. I think an offensive movie, I'm just kind of like always anybody who was in it, unless they like really, really think about it or really, really, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can make a movie that like people don't really enjoy, or it doesn't get like the perfect score on Tomatoes and still find work again. Like, that happens for directors. But when you make a movie that is just like, it makes people pause. It makes people consider, like, what was the thought process behind this? Like, what made you want to do this for real, for real? Because George McKay, he didn't miss a step in his career after this movie came out. He was in, I think, 1917 after Where Hands Touch. So,
after this.
Yeah, so it actually kind of helped him. So he wasn't hurt at all. Amandla Stenberg, I did notice a little pause in her career. She may have just took a step back from acting. But, you know, when she got back in Bodies, I noticed, girl, you have not been acting for a while. Where have you been? I think she was making music possibly, but I don't know. But, you know, I don't want to wish badly on a Black creative. I want more Black creatives to get great opportunities. But if I look at your repertoire and I see something like Where Hands Touch, you know, it has to make me think, like, what's going on in there? Like, whatever little ideas you got going on in there, keep them to yourself. Because we are, unfortunately, in the second Trump era. And Miss Amma Asante, I don't want you getting any ideas. All right? We don't want no more. Okay? Also, that movie, it made not even $5,000 in the box office. It made no money. Nobody went to see that movie. So she should be glad people watched it when they got on Hulu. I mean, they're ripping it apart, but like, I digress. People are watching it, you know?
There's still time she can still squeeze in an interracial Nazi couple into this Cold War movie.
I need Harry's character to just be just a normal white boy. He can have a Black girlfriend if she wants to put a Black girlfriend in there. That's fine. Because they're already throwing in those ambiguous Black girls in every other movie to get their little diversity token. So if you want to do that, that's okay. That's okay. However, you know, we don't need a Where Hands Touch 2, you know, 2016 edition. Nobody's asking for that. Yeah. But I just wanted to bring that up because I saw that article come up on my For You page, not my For You page, on my Twitter. And I was just like, oh, Harry, he got a role. I'm so happy because I love industry. And I like it when, you know, actors from my favorite show get cast and things. Not a huge fan of Russell Crowe for obvious reasons. He's not a good person. But then when I saw the director attached to it, I was like, oh, Lord, here she comes again. But I digress. So guys, we're going to wrap up Media Mania, just not announcing, but talking about some new releases, just to let you guys know. The Day the Earth Blew Up is a Looney Tunes movie that is coming out. It came out on the 14th, so please go check that out. It was kind of like a surprise release, and I do want to try and see it with my siblings, hopefully this weekend, you know, because it looks like it's fun. And Black Bag is coming out. It's a Stenberg thriller. Novacane is a film starring Jack Quaid from The Boys, which is also an action thriller, which looks like a fun. And Opus, which is, you know, the Ayo Edebiri films opposite of John Malkovich out of A24. That is out right now, so I highly suggest you guys check that out. And I think you're the one who posted this on TikTok, so then it like pushed me to look this up. But apparently, because the Day the Earth Blew Up was doing so well, there is possibly a sale for Coyote Acme. Is that true? Yes.
Which is why the way that this has evolved. So to even go like a step back, apparently The Day the Earth Blew Up was only going to play in theaters for 1 week, and that was one of the storyboarders who was like, "Yeah, they're pulling this movie," and then the distributor was like, "No, actually, we made enough money that there are more ticket sales as time is going on. They're like, we're going to stay in theaters for another week and just keep going." But yeah, this is going to lead to Coyote versus Acme probably getting bought. Even though Warner Brothers said it was deleted, the movie was not deleted. It's still, it's still intact, which is good. I mean, I don't know anybody who's seen it, but I've heard it's fantastic. I've heard people who've talked to people who've seen the movie, and I've heard it's really, really special. So
yeah, I am really hoping that it does get bought, and I hope it gets released. I know that it might get sent to streaming, which, like, as long as people can see it, I don't mind, but I would like a theatrical release because it's just a lot more fun to see, you know, animated movies in the theaters rather than just like watching it at home. Like, I don't mind it that much, but the theater is such a perfect experience to like watch movies, to be there with other people, to like experience what's happening on screen. Okay, guys. So that's going to wrap up Media Mania. So